Welcome to Rotor Japan! Oh. はい、もしもしはい。はい。はい。じゃあ、ちょっと明日でもいいですかね。はい。ありがとうございます。どうも。Sorry about that. はい、もしもし。はい。ちょっと今撮影中なんで、ちょっと明日でもいいですかね。はい。ありがとうございます。どうも。はい、はい。どうも。はい、失礼します。So, what I was saying was, God! Sorry. はい、ごめんなさい。すいません。はい。5 reasons why it's so hard to work in Japan. Number 1, interviews. So, you want to work in Japan. So, first thing you need to do would be to find a job. You know, take some interviews, hand out some few CVs. It's simple, right? Wrong. So wrong. The process of getting a job in Japan isn't that simple. Especially if you're just out of the university. 就活, otherwise known as job hunting, is a whole different world.
So you're fresh out of university and looking for a job in Japan. But guess what? The process is full of unwritten rules that everyone here just follows. While this isn't the case for all companies anymore. Traditionally, big companies in Japan hire a bunch of new university graduates at the same time, a practice called Shinsotsu Ikkatsu Saiyo, which literally means simultaneously recruiting new graduates. Kind of like buying in bulk from Costco. And the formality doesn't stop there. Almost every aspect of the job hunting process has already been decided. Every student wears the same recruitment suit, white shirt, no patterns, dark leather shoes, a black or dark colored work bag. No piercings, no jewelry, no dyed hair, no beards. And then the interviews.
Now, things got changed since when I was younger, but the traditional Japanese interview is less like an interview. It's more like a scene in a movie where they'll kidnap you. So you sit in the middle of a room and all the important people are right in front of you in a row. It's almost like a council of the elders or mafia family.
The first round is often a group interview with 4 to 5 candidates, where you take turns answering questions and participate in group discussions. Then comes the one-on-one interview. Make sure you knock on the door 3 times. Open the door and say, 失礼します. Sorry for troubling you, and bow. Say 失礼します again when you sit down. Keep your legs uncrossed. And whatever you do, don't turn your back on the interviewers when you leave. It's like performing an ancient ritual with a million tiny steps. Except, instead of summoning a god, you're summoning Tanaka-san from HR and Saito-san from accounting.
And you'll be asked some standard questions such as your weak points and your strengths, and also why you want to work at this company, and how many famichiki you can eat a day. Just normal stuff. If you get a job, great. You get naite or acceptance letter. If you don't, then what you will get is like what we call oinori mail or prayer mail. Because it always ends with a rejection saying ご活躍をお祈り申し上げます which is nice. A job would have been better though. Number 2, business manners and keigo. Now you've got the job and you'd have to do some work now. But much like a lot of things in Japan, work culture has a lot of rules. Some obvious ones and some hidden ones. For example, the language that you speak.
You probably already know that Japanese has different levels of politeness. If you ever try learning Japanese, you quickly find out that adding desu or masu to the end of the verbs makes your speech sound more polite. It's easy. For example, the verb to eat, 食べる, becomes 食べます when you want to say it in a polite way. And if you end a sentence with desu, like これはペンです, which means this is a pen, it suddenly becomes polite. Super useful Japanese. Thank you, Duolingo. But here's a hidden secret of Japanese. Once you start working in Japan, all of that suddenly becomes useless. In Japanese, there is something called keigo, or put it simply, honorific language. But here's the catch. There isn't just one way to be polite. There are different levels of politeness depending on who you're speaking to. Let's say you want to ask your boss, "Hey, did you see my email?" Let's break it down in simple Japanese. Email in Japanese is meru. To see in a past tense is mimashita. We add o for the object marker. Add ka to make it a question. So naturally, you might think you can say メールを見ましたか? Super simple, right? And super wrong. You absolute fool. You just offended Endo Bucho. How dare you address it with such casual language, you piece of shit. Never show your face in this company again. Okay, maybe not that dramatic, but in the Japanese workplace, speaking too casually to a superior can be considered rude. When you're speaking to someone higher in status, like your boss or customer, you have to elevate them using sonkeigo. So instead of mimashita, you have to say, ご覧になりましたか? Now Endo Bucho is very happy, feels respected, and it might only make you work 4 hours of overtime instead of 6. But it's not just about making others sound important. When talking about yourself or your company, you have to lower your position using kenjoho. So if you want to say, hey Endo Bucho, I read your mail, you don't say 見ました or ご覧になりました. You say 拝見しました. Because nothing screams respect like making yourself sound as insignificant as possible. Who said Japanese is hard? Just thousands of kanji characters plus 3 different levels of politeness for every verb, and if you forget the right one, you're rude. No pressure. But honestly, even Japanese people mess this up sometimes, so don't stress too much.
And probably the most time consuming out of all these business matters in Japan is writing emails. Every email that you write in Japan has got this decided phrases and expressions. So let me give an example of the email that I sent to my friend Mr. Tanaka, who works at Ryotaro Inc. 株式会社良太郎、田中部長様、いつもお世話になっております。桜井です。本年もよろしくお願いいたします。先日お送りいたしましたメールの件ですが、その後何か進展はございましたでしょうか。大変恐縮ですが、今日中にお目を通していただければ幸いです。ご不明点がございましたら遠慮なくご連絡ください。よろしくお願いいたします。桜井。Now let me translate this email into English for you. Hey Tanaka, did you get my email? So there are a lot of different things that can make working in Japan difficult, especially if you're working as a foreigner. But there's one thing that doesn't have to be that difficult, which is applying visa and renewing visa. In Japan, it's pain in the ass to renew your residence card every few years if you work as a non-Japanese national, especially if you live in big cities, because the queue is so long. But with AIRVISA, this whole process is made simple.
AIRVISA is an online visa application service that allows foreigners living in Japan to easily apply and renew or change their visa anytime and from the comfort of their own home. It even comes with a certified administrative lawyer review and an easy-to-follow guide for inputting the information needed for the application. If you're interested in a painless visa experience or just want to find out more about what you need to do visa-wise in Japan, check out the link for AIRVISA in the description and get 1,000 yen off with a special coupon code.
So if you're watching this video and living in Japan, no more queuing up at the Tokyo Immigration Office for 4 hours on end, or even taking an entire day off just to get your residency card renewed. No more filling out mountains of papers and no more hassle. Number 3, one company for life. Now the next point has changed in recent years, but I just wanted to give you an idea of how long you are expected to work in one single company for life.
In the past, especially during Japan's bubble era, joining a traditional company meant committing for life. This system is called Shushin Koyo, literally employment until you stop being alive. These days, fewer companies follow this model, but back then, the idea was very simple. You'd start as a fresh graduate with a low salary, get a small raise every year, and eventually, after enough time, you'd be promoted. And because every major company followed this system, job hopping for better pay wasn't really an option. In fact, switching companies usually meant taking a pay cut, because you'd lose all those pay increases you'd built up. Even today, in some traditional companies, promotion is based on more seniority than skill or performance. So if you're a high achiever hoping to climb the ladder quickly, tough luck, you're waiting in line behind Tanaka-san, who's been warming that desk for 20 years.
But on the flip side of it, it's really hard to get fired in Japan. Instead of firing you, the bad companies, otherwise known as black kigyo, has very special trick up on their sleeves.
So because it's so hard for companies to fire people in Japan, some places resort to dirty tricks, trying to get you to quit first. If your company wants to get rid of you, you may end up being a so-called window seat worker, madogiwazoku, who spends most of their time doing nothing with very little responsibility. A special kind of corporate purgatory where you are given zero work or nothing to do. No projects, no responsibilities, Just endless hours of staring at the blank screen or pretending to look busy. The idea is that you get so bored and miserable so you quit on your own, saving the company the hassle of actually firing you. Clever, huh? You know, when you're bad as a kid and had to go stand and look at the wall? Basically that, but at least you're getting paid to do it.
But don't worry, a lot of Japanese companies nowadays have changed, and this is not the case anymore. Changing jobs in Japan is very common now. Just be careful though, because some places you may be expected to stay until you're disowned. Number 4, gifts. Imagine it's 7 p.m. You're at your desk. Your work ended an hour ago, but no one seems to be leaving the office because they are all waiting for your boss to leave. That's not a hidden rule about working in Japan, by the way. But luckily, you got tomorrow off. You're going on a trip. You're heading to Osaka.
You probably heard of the word omiyage, Japan's souvenir culture. You go somewhere, pick up a little something for your friends or family. Simple, right? Well, in business, this idea gets cranked up to hard mode. Whether you've been away on a business trip or just took a vacation, it's basically expected that you bring back something for at least everyone in your immediate office. Sounds expensive? Don't worry, Japan's got you covered. Almost every station, airport, or tourist spot is packed with region-specific snacks sold in perfectly portioned boxes of 8, 12, 24, and more, ready to be distributed among your co-workers like a tribute to the office gods. And it's big business. Japan's omiyage market is apparently worth 11 trillion yen, with the average Japanese traveler dropping about $50 per trip just on snacks. Every region has its famous omiyage. Hokkaido, shiroi koibito, those fancy little white chocolate cookies. Okinawa, chinsuko, the little crumbly shortbread cookies. Sendai, hagi no tsuki, soft sponge cakes with creamy custard filling. Omiyage industry is so well established that I can instantly tell where you went just by looking at the box. Or if you tell me where you traveled, I can predict your souvenir purchase with 99% accuracy. Now that's efficiency. Thanks again, capitalism. I just spent a chunk of my precious salary on the snacks everyone already expected me to buy. But hey, at least I got some famous biscuits from Kumamoto or something.
So remember, there's a trick to buying omiyage that all your co-workers will enjoy. Lie, I'm not going anywhere tomorrow. I'm going to stay at home and stay at work. That way, you don't have to buy anything. And finally, perhaps the most annoying thing about working in Japan, 打ち合わせ or meetings.
In Japanese business, meetings are king. You know those TikToks about Japan that always starts with, in Japan, everyone is so polite, everyone respects the group more than the individual, and also they take the shirts off inside. Wow. Well, Japanese business meetings are kind of like that idea taken to the extreme. When you step into a meeting, the goal isn't to debate, suggest bold ideas, or make quick decisions. The goal is for everyone to be on the same page. Which means that a lot of going on in circles and reconfirming what's already been decided weeks ago. Remember that paperclip from Microsoft Word that used to pop up like, are you sure you want to close this document? Japanese meetings are like that, except, are you sure we're going to do the exact same thing we already agreed on 3 weeks ago? And then there is the silence. Long, awkward silence. Because no one wants to be the first to speak up, eventually, the boss just gives up and sighs and says, okay everyone, we'll get back to work. It's kind of like running a marathon, except more exhausting and without a sense of accomplishment.
And it's not just how meetings are held in Japan that would make you want to rip your hair out. It's all the different types. You have a chore or morning meeting in which you're going to talk about what you're going to do that day.
Formal meetings, 会議, planning meetings, 企画会議, progress meetings, 進捗会議, review meetings, 反省会議, briefing sessions, 説明会, and of course, Godzilla emergency response meetings, 巨大不明生物対策本部会議. Because even if a giant monster attacks Tokyo, we still need a meeting about it first.
No wonder there is so much overtime in Japan. Just too many meetings. Oh. もしもし。はい。5分後に参ります。はい。ありがとうございます。5分後に参ります。So, that's it for the video, guys. 5 things that would make working in Japan so hard. What surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure when you go on a vacation, buy me some omiyage. So I will see you in next video.